With the Earth being composed of over 70% of water, it seems impossible that the 7.5 billion people on our planet could ever lack this resource. And yet, so many people do. Much of the world struggles to have water to bathe in the evening and a glass at any part of the day, as this natural resource is taken by large corporations. What might be worse is that those that have enough to make a cup of coffee, wash a car, and fill a pool don't even know how the other half lives. Irina Selena's 2008 documentary, Flow for Love of Water, attempts to eliminate this ignorance by informing the public about this century-long global water crisis. Inspired particularly by the questions, who owns water? Is water going to become the oil of the 21st century? In an article in The Nation, Selena tackles not only the idea of the increasing amount of water being contaminated, but also the issue with others taking ownership of what, theoretically, should be free to all. A winner of the Grand Jury Award for Best Documentary at both the Mumbai International Film Festival and the United Nations Film Festival, Flow incorporates interviews with experts on the issue and those most affected by it, facts and statistics, and clips showing daily water struggles. These tools are effectively used in conjunction with a balance of logic and emotion to discuss modern issues of water contamination, privatization, and injustices. Focusing in on specific events and issues in countries such as Bolivia, India, and South Africa, the film takes a look at the corporations and policies, or lack thereof, that are influencing the magnitude of this crisis. As the film opens with W. H. Auden's quote, "Thousands have lived without love, not one without water," viewers' thoughts are immediately focused on water's vitality. This idea is then furthered by facts referencing water's impact. As a viewer, this information seems almost so extreme that it doesn't quite seem possible. Yet, as one expert mentions, over 2 million people die every year from waterborne illnesses. Facts such as this one are what makes this film so powerful, as they lead viewers to thank their lucky stars for the clean water we have constant access to and yet so readily waste. But numbers are not enough to convince people of just how disastrous the water crisis is, which is where the visual elements via clips come into play. Horrifying scenes of fights breaking out over water, young children carrying much too large buckets over far too long distances, and scenes of water so dirty a pig would turn its nose are what keeps the audience both captivated and infuriated. This is especially true in the scene of the bloodied water that, as one of the locals explained, flows right into the sacred lake. Viewers will find their brows furrowing at the sight of a stray dog trudging through these waters. With people being generally very visually oriented, the film's combination of powerful images with already powerful words helps the concepts to have a long-lasting impact on viewers. And if facts and stats and scenes still haven't convinced people of the magnitude of the issue, the interviews of those plagued by the crisis, as well as experts in the field, are sure to. The many recounts of daily treks for water, frustration with the water privatization, and dejected explanation of quickly broken promises by water companies give first-hand evidence of just how taxing this problem is on the villagers' lives. These accounts accomplish the emotional aspect needed to sway viewers. As for the logical appeal, viewers receive trustworthy yet compelling evidence from interviews with activists and other professionals. Journalists discuss Nestle's corporate plan to virtually steal Michigan residents' water for profit. Environmental lawyers ridicule water corporations, and scientists explain the prospects of the crisis in the coming years. These logic-based arguments contribute to the creative treatment of reality, a so-called critical component of documentaries. In other words, the interviews that are fact-based balance out the more emotionally inclined ones to show evidence of the situation's reality. Though much of the film has a pessimistic tone, it ends on a hopeful note as Selena discusses the solutions that are in the works. This is accompanied by a shift in the music score as the dejected and slow music that is played throughout the beginning of the film switches to an upbeat tune. Based on John Corner's finding in his study of music's role in documentaries, music can signal the emotional level at which the audience should investigate what is being shown, indicating that this happier-sounding music is meant to evoke a sense of hopefulness. This new score plays behind scenes of communities coming together to fight for their protection of the right to this resource, creating organizations like water literacy movements and speaking in front of their people about the importance of fighting back. The last scene introduces Flo's petition advocating for the UN to add the right to water to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, showing the extensive effort of this film group not just to inform the public about the issue, but to try to resolve it.